Hey, what's up guys, Sinewy here, and yes, it is actually currently my birthday while this video goes live. Not literally, because I'm obviously recording this a few days in advance. And in celebration of my birthday, I am bringing back Sinewy Answers Questions. On my community tab, I asked you all to give me a little bit of Q&A questions, and well, there was a lot of questions that people really wanted me to ask. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video with the very first question here. And that is, well, makes sense to start this off considering that's my birthday. How old are you? Now, while I'm recording this, I am 22, but when this video goes live, I will be 23, so yay! Getting old freaking sucks, guys. What is your favorite and least favorite jam track? This is an interesting one here, considering that I actually do really like Fortnite Festival here. And I will say my favorite jam track in general right now is Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. I really like that song, and I really like how it's now a lobby track, which is also fantastic. Also, I really like playing it on vocals. And my least favorite jam track is the Chainsmokers freaking Closer song. I hate that song when it was out. It was so overplayed. It's hot garbage. I will never buy that song ever. Don't get any ideas, please. I even got another one here, and that is what's your favorite song to play in festival and on what instrument? I already kind of answered it here with Feel Good Inc. on vocals. I very much love playing that song, and I guess we're just going to continue going down this year, because what is your most wanted collabs you believe could actually come to Fortnite? There's Gorillaz again. I mean, I don't want to keep mentioning Gorillaz in this video here, but I feel like Power Rangers is definitely highly likely. It was leaked a little while ago that we would get like some form of a Power Rangers collab with, like, I'm pretty sure it was like Street Fighter, but I would just love to have the Power Rangers IP in general be added into the game. And considering that they're doing like other collabs for other games, I'm pretty sure they did one with like Arc 2, I'm pretty sure, I think that's the game, then I think it's definitely very possible for us to see this be added into Fortnite. I would love for there to be like the whole mini event surrounding this collab. Please, I'm begging you. Here's another question here, and it says, do you feel like new skins are not worth buying? I actually heavily disagree with this. I definitely think that skins are worth buying, more or less within the perspective of that said person. If they really want to buy a certain cosmetic in the side of Fortnite, or in this case like skins for example, then they should definitely go about it here. However, if they don't agree with certain things about the cosmetic, then they don't have to. It's up to personal preference at the very end of the day. But I do really feel like it honestly has to come down to pricing of cosmetics and just how they're handled. Like literally, we just had the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff release, and obviously when this video goes live, the actual collab will fully start, which is awesome. I'm very excited to play it. And with that, we got 3 skins in the item shop. 2 of them are 1600 V-Bucks, while one of them is 1500 that has no edit styles and no back bling, but a pickaxe. I don't know why they thought those were the prices, and that they were just like, yeah, these are great prices for these cosmetics. It is what it is, I guess. I don't know why. Maybe it's because, I don't know, they removed rarities. I will say that Fortnite cosmetics are still worth buying, considering that they still put a hell of a lot of work into them, and that the quality of them are still there. Sure, we don't get enough of the original cosmetics as we do when it comes to collabs, but it's not to say that what we get all the time is bad, because I do think that the quality of the cosmetics is still there, and I think Epic does a hell of a good job at making them. How did you come up with your username? Oh boy, this is an interesting one here. It's a very odd story. So you all know, like, whenever you make like an Xbox account, it does like one of those random generated names you can pick out. Well, that's kind of how mine was made.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty much generated by an Xbox. After I made like my first channel, which was just horrible, I'm glad that channel's gone. I decided, you know what? I want to actually use my Xbox name as my new YouTube channel. So what I decided to do is I just took out the 5 and boom, Sinewy was born. I don't know how else to put it like that. There you go. If you could make a Vault of the Year or more shop, what cosmetics would you put in? Limited time skins can count for this as well. Oh boy, so if that's the case here, since you put in the Paradigm, I might as well just put her in there as well. Just right there, boom, put her in there. That skin should have never been a limited time skin to begin with. I think they shot themselves in the foot with that. And hell, why not just throw in the emotes as well in there? So go home and welcome, put those in there as well. For like other cosmetics I would put in here, Reflex and his glider, definitely just gonna throw them in there. They haven't been seen over a year, obviously, with Reflex since like 2019. He should just come back. Rue 100% needs to be in there as well. I mean, that's kind of an obvious one. Dante 100%. I mean, if he doesn't return this year, you do not understand the level of anger I will have if this skin does not return this year. And you know what? Let's just throw in the Cypher's Nell stuff. Let's throw in his set because that hasn't been seen in a long time as well. Maybe like some miscellaneous stuff like Director's Cut would be a pretty good one to have in there. Or even like the Dumpster Flyer, even though that is a really awful glider. It was only in the shop one time, so that'd be cool if this returned in a vaulted shop. And in terms of emotes, besides the ones I just mentioned, let's see here. Zombie Shambles 100%, Out with the Old 100%. It's complicated. That emote should just come out at this point. Snackin', I would definitely put that in there. Not sure why it hasn't come back in over 2 years. And you know what? Just for the hell of it, I would put in Rambunctious and Fresh in there because here's the thing. If Tidy can return in a vaulted shop, which it technically did for 2 hours, then these two emotes can definitely return in these shops. I'm just saying. Here's another one very similar to this. If you had control over seasonal events of Fortnite, what would you add to them? Like for like Halloween, summer, Valentine's Day, etc. And what collab would you like to see if you ran Fortnitemares? Oh boy. So here's the thing. I would make seasonal events fun in general. I would throw in a bunch of stuff. Like for example, let's take the summer event for this year. I would put in all the stuff that we got last year when it comes to the gameplay changes plus more. I would bring back like the surfboards. I would bring back actual decorations around the map. I would put a bunch of like summer themed stuff around the map in general. Like I think that would have been a really good idea for us to have that in here, but unfortunately it never happened. Or even at that, I would bring back some of like the older LTMs from the 14 days of summer. They just screwed over summer so badly this year, and that's absolutely sad. And what collab would you want to see for Fortnitemares? There's a lot of them which I would want to see, but I think since we already have Michael Myers in the game, give me Ghostface from Scream. I mean, I'm just saying, it's long overdue. He needs to be in here because if he can be in Call of Duty, he can be in this game. Oh boy, this is a big one here. This person asked 6 questions, but I've already answered a couple of them here, so I'm just gonna go through the first 4. Starting off with the basics, how do you fund your massive spending sprees? And this is also kind of similar to another question, which I might as well answer right now because I'm talking about spending sprees. And that is, why did you start making spending sprees? Now, I can't really go into actual basics as of how I fund my spending sprees, but can't really go into basics because of obviously it's personal business. It's not really anyone's business, but the reason why I love making spending sprees is actually for a multitude of reasons. Number one, the actual like subgenre of this kind of Fortnite content doesn't really get a ton of attraction when it comes to like, oh my gosh, so many people are doing this. The only people who are really doing it are the ones that obviously pioneered it. Most notably, obviously, I Am Clickbait. He's the guy that definitely pioneered this whole entire subgenre. Love his content. I have nothing against the guy. And when I was seeing his content doing that and like doing really well, I was like, it's a really cool idea. And the biggest reason to why is that it's kind of like a time capsule. You know, you look back at old footage that you did, go like, wow, I've been doing this for that many years. Like literally, I still have footage from my first ever spending spree on my computer still. It's like really cool to look back at like certain points to when you were playing the game, and that's why I really wanted to start doing spending sprees. Not only just for like entertainment purposes for me to, you know, just like, hey, this is a cool little video. I like recording stuff which I buy, you know, it's awesome. But more or less as a time capsule to look back at like when I started playing, like when I started doing these videos, when I started doing videos in general. Like it's a really cool thing to look back at like the older ones, even though I will say my older spending sprees were hot garbage. What is your favorite skin from every special rarity? Oh boy, this is... Do I really have to do all of them? I'm just gonna rapid fire through them because I don't want to waste like 15 minutes going over every single one of them. So my favorite Dark Series skin is easily Dark Scully. DC, it is definitely Rebirth Raven. Love that skin. The Frozen series, there's a lot of good ones out of here, but I think Frostbroker is probably my personal favorite. Gaming, oh boy, I mean, there's a lot of great ones, but I still think it's Lara Croft. I will say this here, that's not that this any of the other ones, because Gaming Legends never misses. I keep saying that on this channel, but it's very true. Icon, I actually think it's actually a tie between the Slim Shady skin and the Bruno Mars skin. It's either one of the two, but I can't really decide between the two. They're just both so damn good. For Lava series, easily Incinerator Kuno. She is easily the best one out of the bunch there. My favorite Marvel skin, easily Tony Stark. I mean, I feel like that's just a very obvious one here. Tony Stark is still the best one. Spider-Gwen is definitely right there. I definitely say those are my 2 personal favorite Marvel skins we have gotten in the game. Shadow series is easily Monarch. Don't really need to go into explanation as of why, but you know, it's a very unique skin. Slurp series is easily Slurpentine. Very awesome goth aesthetic skin there. And in terms of Star Wars skins, it's Padme still. I still think that Padme Padme is probably my favorite Star Wars skin in the game right now. Absolutely love it. What do you like the most about Fortnite, and how did you start getting into it? I think in general with the game is that it's just so replayable and it has so much endless possibilities, especially with chapter 5 with them introducing like the Lego game mode, Fortnite Festival, and obviously with Rocket Racing, which I don't know anybody who really plays that anymore. And on top of just not only just those, there's obviously like creative in here as well, and obviously with Battle Royale and Save the World, there's so much like to do in Fortnite. You pretty much almost never get bored in the game because there's basically an endless amount of possibilities that you can pretty much do in this game. And I feel like that's why I've also stuck around with it for a long time, is that it's just so replayable and it's just such a damn fun game. Then we have, what are your overall opinions about the metaverse, and how do you feel about the old style of live events being pretty much non-existent now? I really do worry about the future of Fortnite when it comes to this whole metaverse situation. As I just said, I do really love a lot of the new additions that they've been adding into chapter 5, more or less with the new game modes, but I feel like they're trying to go away from what made Fortnite an actual game and trying to make it into a platform, which I feel like is not a great direction. Now, it's not to say that what we've been getting all the time has been bad, because I will say a lot of stuff we have been getting has been really good, but they're just going away from what made Fortnite so special to begin with, and that was the goofiness of the game. Not to say that this season's not goofy at all, because I do feel like it has some goofy elements to it, but it feels like they're trying to make this game so serious looking that it's just taking away from what made this game really good in the first place. And them getting rid of like the old style of live events is just so, like, I generally don't understand why they're getting rid of something that was such a huge thing, not only just for this game, but for gaming in general. Fortnite, I'm pretty sure, was one of the first ever games to ever do live in-game events that only happened once. Like, I don't know why they're going away from that. I do hope we get some new live events at some point, but I hope they're not like creative based ones. But from the looks of it, especially with the recent Metallica one, it seems like that's the direction they're going in. I don't like that at all. And speaking of this, we got another question here saying, when do you think Fortnite will end? I generally don't know, considering that this game still pulls in millions of players every single day and still makes news highlights everywhere, and having massive collaborations happening in this game that you just never see other games realistically doing. I believe like the closest one that I could think of on top of my head that's getting close to that is Call of Duty. It's insane to think about that. And like, as I've just said, the endless possibilities with this game is literally right there. You can pretty much make almost whatever you want within Fortnite, which is crazy. And I honestly don't think that this game will die. Now we're going to talk about icon emotes here. So why did you start collecting icon emotes? Well, here's the thing. There is actually one word I can describe icon emotes in Fortnite, and that is wildcard, or more or less wildcards, because they are a massive wildcard. They're just so random. It's like one point you can get something really good, the other point you can get something that's really bad, and I really like that. It's like a big surprise, you know? And I love surprises, so I guess there's that. That's kind of why I started collecting icon emotes, because they're just huge surprises. You don't see them really coming unless if they're leaked in advance, which rarely even happens. And it's just really cool to see the community feedback and just like the community reaction in general whenever we get a new icon emote released, because they're almost always encrypted, which is really cool. Speaking of which, we also have 2 more questions about the icon emotes. What's your favorite emote from chapter 5, which has been an icon emote so far? And also, what is your favorite icon emote? In terms of my favorite icon emote, that has not changed at all. That is still Master of Puppets. I love Metallica, love that emote. It was a massive shock when it came out. I still can't believe we even got that. And we got 2 more emotes from Metallica, which are also freaking amazing. Like, oh my god. And with the other question, what's your favorite icon emote been from chapter 5 so far? I think my favorite one was actually one that came out not too long ago, and it's not because of recency bias. I'm not putting it on there because of, I'm not mentioning it here more or less because of that reason. And that is Groove Destroyer. I really like this emote. It's a really goofy emote. Like, the music that they use is great, the dance is great, and it's synced. This was actually a really good emote, and this was coming after when we were getting like a lot of like not so great sounding emotes. Like, it really was just on a dry streak, other than the nitro fueled emote that came out with the Metallica collab. Why do you like lemons? Well, here's the thing, I actually don't like lemons.
Hold up.
Yeah, I chose it for more or less my banner because I just thought of a random food out of nowhere. It's out of context, not really much else to really say. It's a random food. Let me know down below if you want me to change it to something else. I would be for that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. I just want to thank everybody for the birthday wishes. Thank you all so much. Like, it's very grateful that I have a following a little bit here on YouTube. I'm very grateful for that. Very grateful for everybody who watches my content. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to check out my Twitter, aka my X account. Socials are all on screen. Thank you all so much for watching. I love every single one of you. Remember, everyone, it's always good to take chances.